Here we go. We are live.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. First of all, sorry for being not live for last for so many days. We all were busy, hell lot of busy with our work, so we could not go live. But here we are, and we had to be. Uh, I am experiencing this feeling after maybe 2011, 12, and then 2013, 15 November 2013, when the great Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar retired. And yet again, we are seeing the end of an era with two of our legends, uh, generation greats, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, retiring from the purest form of cricket, from the white ball cricket, sorry, from the red ball cricket, and they are retiring from the whites. Very emotional moment for all of us who have been following cricket for so many years, and especially seeing this Indian cricket team dominating in the last few years in Test cricket. The kind of aggression, the kind of team, the attitude to win overseas, win at home. Uh, that's coming to an end. Maybe we would have expected it to be last a little longer, but unfortunately that was not the case. We already knew that the curtains would be soon down when the BGT happened. Um, the two great iconic players of Indian cricket, the Dil and the Jan, as we call Dil and the Dhadkan, as we call them, of Indian cricket. They were not quite the best of what they were. Right in the BGT, we saw that fall, and it's not only a BGT. We saw that fall for quite a few many years, and then that this was going to happen, but it would happen this soon is what we did not expect. Maybe we expected them to continue for maybe a 1 year or two, but anyways, what has happened. It's a very emotional moment for all of us fans, because like all of you, we also love Rohit and Virat a lot. So Rickjoy, opening thoughts.
Yeah. So as you said rightly, whenever we kind of use the word end of era quite frequently nowadays to explain legendary stuffs that happen either in the cricket or in any other field. But actual end of era happened in 2013, rightly as you mentioned, with the retirement of Sachin Tendulkar. That was a generational event. Our formation of uh, the knowledge of cricket, like whatever we have learned about the game itself, was surrounded uh, by Sachin Tendulkar. He was the epicenter, and the game was surrounded by him. The game surrounded him basically. So when he retired, and I think that retirement journey started with the World Cup final. Kind of that was like the farewell tour for him. We kind of got an indication that yes, this will be actual end of era, and that kind of emotional outburst I don't think I had till this like last couple of days, when both Rohit and especially Kohli. I think Rohit is obviously one of the biggest legends of our game, but I think Kohli surpasses that, and I again got that feeling because more than Sachin Tendulkar, I would say Sachin Tendulkar is like a big brother or like an uncle for us millennials who are born in the 90s. Sachin was born in 73. So he's kind of a younger uncle, father, smaller brother, kind of like this. So we looked up to him. But Kohli, we can understand he's the person just like us, uh, learn to love cricket by watching Sachin Tendulkar, right? So we can understand his inner emotion. What are the factors that have led him to take up the bat and say that yes, I will represent the country? I think whoever saw Sachin Tendulkar and got motivated to play cricket had the same thought. So we can correlate with that process. And I think Kohli, especially for me, he's only 10 days older than me, and so uh, so kind of like I remember in the 2014 BGT, there was a then Kohli started first using the MRF bat. You know, the MRF as a sponsor is very selective. They only give their bats when they are sure that this guy or this person or this cricketer has either has a legendary career or is going to be a future legend. They don't sponsor any other players other than that. They have had couple of missed shots here and there, but mostly if you see from AB de Villiers to Steve Waugh to Brand Lara to Sachin Tendulkar, all these players use MRF bat, and then I think that was the tour or maybe somewhere Virat started using the MRF bat, and there was a photograph of Virat Kohli on some of the newspaper. We don't get newspaper anymore, but it was kind of like a digital reprint of the photograph where he's playing a cover drive, but he I think in 2014 and his stances was little different, and and he used to wear a different helmet, not the current one, the Shrey one helmet, but rather the Masuri helmet, which had a four grills, kind of like similar to what Sachin used to wear. And that picture kind of reminded me of the older days when we used to get newspaper, and suppose the most exciting day for me was like when Sachin used to score a century. I knew the next day there will be a big
Big
if it was
tournament.
it was a crunch match or a match of importance like World Cup and all, it will come in the front page. But if it
Hmm.
was like generally in the sports page, there was like top half of the page was just Sachin hitting some kind of a boundary
Yeah,
or kind of, yeah.
correct,
And that
correct.
image, yeah, and that image was exactly the replica of what I saw in Virat Kohli. And that time, first I could realize, okay, this man is living his dream. uh, for us millennials, we grew up in a, I think Harsha Bogle also mentioned that, right? That we grew up after 90s when India went through liberalization economic boom, and the kind of exposure to various uh, I would say materialistic endeavors, as well as the kind of dreams what we can fulfill was actually born from that generation. I don't think you will see our previous generation aspiring to be cricketers. It was us, our generation, who would say, "Yes, I want to be a cricketer. I want to be a sportsman. I want to be an entrepreneur." So these kind of dreams were developed during our generation, and I could see that man living his dream, which is uh, one of the greatest fulfillment of life. And him
Hmm.
being very close to our generation, kind of like was reliving the life we wanted to live.
Absolutely.
I would say like, and today when I mean yesterday, not today, I mean day, couple of days back when he retired, it's like that the journey has come to an end, and we have seen cricketers who has given majority of their young life to one particular entity, uh, cannot move away, no matter how much they say, cannot move away from the only thing they know how to do. We have seen how Sachin Tendulkar still plays those legend leagues. Why does he play that? Because we
Hmm.
understand that it is the only thing he wants to do in his life. And even
Correct.
though there are opportunities, he's a great entrepreneur. I think he has invested a lot in his foundations and all those stuff. But deep inside, we know that all he wants is to take a bat and take a guard and just hit the ball all day. So this will remain with him, no matter how much we say that he wants to. I think there was a report yesterday uh, saying that he wants to focus more time with his family and all, which we understand. But still, we know that no matter how much a cricketer says that okay, but I think it's time has come for me to hang up the boots and all those stuff, but this will remain with him. The only thing, the I think we do not know Virat Kohli for his other skills, for his oratory skills, or no matter. I mean, he's a great fitness influencer. I would say he had a great impact in terms of fitness to the team. But what do we know Kohli for? We know Kohli for because he's a great cricketer and one of the greatest of the game. So not only living his dream, becoming the best in it, in fact conquering some of the records. So even if we had a dream of become a cricketer, then the next dream will be breaking Sachin Tendulkar's record. That's the only thing we would do, and he did that in one day. I would say Test cricket. I would say because the way T20 has gobbled up the cricket calendar, it is very difficult for cricketers to play that much of Test matches nowadays. But I believe if T20 were not there, he could have scored more runs and centuries in Test too. But in one day, he was able to. over. I mean, there is no lack of respect. He still believes Sachin Tendulkar is the is the epitome of cricket itself. But when he breaks that record, that is no joke. That is something that the next player will do after, even not in 5 years, 6 years, maybe after 10 years, 12 years. We do not know, because one days are also going to get obsolete. So to live the dream, to become best in it, to conquer the persons from which you got inspired, is a fairy tale, literally fairy tale, and that fairy tale has come to an end. It is quite like a very, I mean, I would say it's a matter of sorrow for us that that journey has come to an end. So I think that's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking about.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you correctly mentioned, he embodied the emotions of all of us.
Yes.
So Sachin carried our dreams, a billion dreams. Virat carried our childhood feelings or emotions, right? What we wanted, what we all wanted to achieve. Uh, so absolutely, and I mean, when we talk about cricket, we talk about impact. So players impact. I mean, there were many people who scored 10,000 runs, maybe 8,000 runs, maybe to 400, 300 wickets, right? But we talk about impact. So like one person, when I say, when we heard it from our fathers and uncles, right? It was Kapil Dev and Sunil Gavaskar, right? They were the impactful players, right? The reason why the next generation decided to play cricket. Then came Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, and then comes a Virat Kohli. So a young boy from Delhi started, like maybe he started. I mean, when he started off his entire career, right? So he was like a chubby young man, mainly like. I mean, when I first saw him, I thought that he would be the next kind of a Suresh Raina or maybe a Yuvraj Singh. But then complete transformation, completely transforming himself, giving the game the respect. So we say that the game is always bigger. So Virat Kohli, no matter what he achieved in his life, but one thing, the reason why he achieved all those things in life was because he always kept the game above himself, right? Uh, that respect. So if I have to excel, if I have to do well here, this is the adjustment that I have to make. And so when, from, I don't know, I mean, if there would be a bigger superstar in the future, whatever it is, right? But in the coming years, when people talk about impact, people will definitely talk about Virat Kohli. So talking about the impact, he had an impact on multiple things. So we'll not talk about his ODI cricket records. I mean, he's a legend there because he is still not retired. And let's live the dreams. Let's live whatever he has to offer till the 2027 World Cup. We already did talk about the T20. He was an absolute legend in T20. No matter how much bad he performed in that World Cup, except for the final, but he played when the team needed. And he almost. I mean, I was seeing one of those interviews on Instagram last day. Not an interview, kind of a clip, where the person was talking about that Dhoni was a very average captain in T20, except for the 2007 T20 World Cup. It was Virat Kohli who almost carried the entire team in those finals, in the T20 World Cup finals. So he was a legend in the T20 game, but here we are talking about the purest form of cricket, that is the Test cricket, and he was an absolute legend. Like, I only thing or only regret that I will have, and maybe he personally will have, and we all fans who have watched him will have, that he did not cross that 10,000 mark. He was not in that 10,000 club. But if you see the impact, India, so we call him, I mean, I do not personally call him, I consider him the greatest red ball captain India has ever had. I
Yeah.
think he, the only person who is second to him is Saurav Ganguly. Otherwise, there is no better captain for red ball in India than Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
But so we call him a field captain just because he does not have a trophy. But I think it was 2016, 17, 18 or 17, 18, 19. Three consecutive years, India won the Test match. They were the topmost team in the Test cricket for 3 regular years, right?
Yeah.
3 continuous years. And not only that, India were never in 3, 4, or 5. They were
Mm.
always one or two.
Yeah.
At the max, they went to three. That's it. So that's how this entire generation, the time, and we should always remember the time when he took the captaincy. India were thrashed left and right.
Yes.
Away conditions, home conditions, they were still doing good. Away conditions under Mahendra Singh Dhoni, which I would feel is not, I mean, out of the captaincy legacy of Dhoni, it's kind of a black mark.
Yes.
Dhoni was not a good test captain. We all have to agree. And
Yeah.
there's no disagreement on that. There should not be any disagreement. He was a legend in T20 and not T20 ODI cricket, but he
Yeah.
was he was not a good captain in Test cricket. So that sudden retirement of Dhoni. So Dhoni decides to leave that Test cricket, and this video is surfacing a lot in Instagram today.
Yeah.
That Dhoni decides to leave cricket, and now it's all upon the shoulders of young Virat Kohli. And that first series, I think he scored 400s in that, right?
Yes.
The first series showed the kind of fire that he had, and that is the brand of cricket that he played throughout his Test career as a captain, as a player. The person who built a fast bowling unit, a unit that was a fearsome unit. And I'm not sure, I mean, after that era of the Andy Roberts and the Joel Garners, I don't think there was a such a fast bowling attack. We had Glenn McGrath, we had Brett Lee, we had Jason Gillespie. That era was also there, but they were not fearsome. It's not that we feared. I mean, the Indian batsmen used to fear, but these bowlers that developed under Virat Kohli, they would go for the kill. They would
Yes.
kill the batsman. So that's the kind of fire that he generated, and that's the impact that we are talking about. And after that, once he left the captaincy, the win that we saw under Rohit Sharma, it was all because whatever Virat Kohli built. Rohit Sharma got uh,
Made
he
up
got a
already
template. He
made
got a
team. Yeah.
template. He got a template. He got a ready-made team, and that's what he carried.
Is
So
similar to
excellent.
what
And
it's similar to people say that the 2011 World Cup winning team was actually made by Saurav Ganguly and handled by,
absolutely,
so kind of like that. He built the team when Dhoni left the Test cricket. India's Test record were in shambles, especially in foreign countries. So it was kind of a rehash of Saurav Ganguly's run, where he made a focus of winning outside India, especially in England, especially in Australia, and that fire was brought back into the team. He built the team. He built confidence into the team, and as you rightly mentioned, he created that lethal bowling attack, which every cricket commentators or cricket experts do laud. It was his idea. So yeah, in not I mean, rightly, if we are discussing the leadership caliber and the leadership skill, not only on the field but off the field, like the way his
absolutely.
mind works, the aggression. I mean, obviously he's known for his aggression, but the actual aggression, I would say, is the skill set building, the team building, the soft skill what we speak of. That is where his actual aggression shows, and I believe that is also one of the biggest contribution, and also something to learn in the future generation. Everyone has their own style, but they
Hmm.
should learn from his captaincy, the way he motivated the team, the way he encouraged everyone to give their 100%, and the way he gave respect to the format of the Test cricket, which is
Hmm.
very rarely seen nowadays in many of the players. The way he used to speak so highly of Test cricket, that is something maybe we will not see in a long term, because I think the generation change and their communication style and their methodology change. But something, that's what I mentioned. In our generation, I think we understand him, but I do not know. Maybe can we
Hmm.
understand people who will come in the future generation? Maybe they will have their own way to create the same or recreate the same thing. But this is
I
something.
can I can make a prediction that I think he's the last player to have scored 9,000 test runs. I don't think anyone else will be crossing in the future. I don't. Maybe we will see. Maybe we might see Rachin Ravindra or Yashasvi Jaiswal, maybe Shubman Gill or someone. But I still feel that he's the last person to score 9,000 runs. I just have one regret that he could not score that 10,000 runs. Otherwise, I think. Excellent career, excellent.
Yeah.
So, Vijay,
I
uh,
think that that's why I'm just sorry to interrupt. I
uh,
think that's what I mentioned because he's the student of the game and he keeps the game always above himself, and also he has this love for the game and love for Test cricket, and that is why his selfness was actually shown that he could have said that let me have the farewell series. I think he was short by 700 runs, right? So he could have.
hmm,
I mean, in the
you're right.
best of his form, he would have taken at least, I believe, 8 to 9 innings to do that
Hmm,
if he was in the best of his form. But he was not in
yeah,
the best of his form, so that also has to be one factor. But as I mentioned, because he believed in his contribution to the Indian cricket, that's why he thought that it is not necessary to do that formality of touching that number. It's not needed.
right.
Whatever he
Absolutely.
has done, more than enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and he will always be in that all-time Test 11 for India, for me at least, and just
Yeah.
not because of his runs, not because of his hundreds, but because of his captaincy. He will be the captain of my team always for the Indian red ball team, definitely. So, talking about that, Vijay, your memories, one memory as a batsman, Virat Kohli, and as a captain, Virat Kohli. One favorite
Captain
memory.
always, I would say that this famous pep talk he gave in England, 60 minutes of
Right.
hell.
The 60 over bundle.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that is one of the. I mean, Star Sport do show it multiple times, but that is truly a goosebump moment, and the players also showed that same intent what he wanted from the team. That was one of the most key moments. And as overall, I would say the PGT win they had, uh, the Pant one, okay, because I think we were back, we were down and out on the
But
first
in the
test, right?
Pant one, I think Virat was not there, right? He left after the first test match.
Uh,
It was
he was
Rahane
not
who led.
he was not there for the whole series. I think he was
Yeah, yeah.
not there in the match.
He left after the 36 debacle, na? And then it
Okay,
was Rahane who took over.
but
Then,
it was
yeah.
his.
Then,
I mean, technically, I would say
hmm,
that if he was there, India still would have won, right? But yeah, but
hmm,
that was one of the.
ha,
That's why I say that it is his team.
his team.
His
Correct.
idea, right? You cannot say it is Rahane's idea about it. I mean, obviously Rahane on field on that day was amazing. I mean, what he did showed. But when you talk about the think tank or how he developed the team, it was his. Obviously,
Correct.
the touch of
It
Virat
was
Kohli
his
was.
team. It was his team, right?
Yeah. So that is one of the memories of Virat Kohli as a captain. As a player, uh, I saw him live multiple times. Uh, but one of the two key memories is that if you remember, this is from again one day because we are reminiscing the whole career, so other
No, let's
formats of.
talk about test matches. Let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about the. I don't want
I would say the
Kohli to
first
retire
time I
yet from
saw him,
ODIs.
yeah, the first time I saw him actually, first time I saw him live in Eden Gardens, he scored that century. If you remember, Gambhir gave the man of the match
Ah,
to.
yes, yes, man
That
of the
was the
match.
first time I saw him live against
Hmm.
Sri Lanka. So I saw and people were in Eden Gardens were telling that this man will become a future legend. The way he played that inning, I mean, so mature innings as a youngster is very rare to see. But as a test match, I would say there is a double century he did in Wankhede against England. Uh,
Hmm.
if you recollect that match also, I went to see live. I was in Mumbai that time, and so it was against England, and I think Ashwin also played well in terms of bowling, and he scored an amazing double century. I mean, in the end, he was getting a little bit aggressive. He was trying to hit shots and all. And it was, and in watching a test match in Wankhede is quite different compared to watching a test match in Eden Garden. We were quite near to the players, and the angles are very sharp, so you kind of have like a television like view. And and we were able to actually in Eden Gardens you will notice that sometimes you are not able to see the distinct batting stance of the player, but one carry you can see that if you are very. I was there in the almost in the boundary line and
Okay.
almost straight. Yeah, yeah. So I was able to see how he was like, almost like a wicketkeeper angle. So he was like getting into the back foot and then getting into the top of the ball and everything. So I was able to see another match. I saw him. Uh, that match also, again, it's a one day match, but still, I would say that it was quite interesting. It was again Australia, and it was kind of like a random bilateral tour. And the plan Australia had was that they are going to continuously uh, bowl India around this, like around the chest length, not bouncers, around the chest length, the only length they were bowling, at least for first 15 overs. And I was see Kohli continuously like either playing like a late cut or like moving on to there, and he was like negating, and he was like wait patiently played the whole inning. So that time I could understand what a kind, I mean, understanding opponents strategy. Generally, you don't see that while you watch the game on TV, but on field, like how the fields are being set and how they are bowling. So yeah, so those memories I can. I mean, most of my memories are coming where I have seen him live, because those memories tend to live longer.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, and most memorable is the I think the the 2000 the double hundred he scored in 1 KD. And I
Mm.
think I have a picture of him where he scored the 100 or the 200. I think he either scored a boundary or kind of time, or like a six or something. And I was, as I mentioned, I was there in the directly in focus with his line, and I was actually being caught in the camera. So he was
Acha.
like, yeah, I have the picture with me. So here is Kohli.
Okay. Yes.
In background is me. You can see.
Okay. Great. Yes, I can see you. Right.
Yeah, he was actually he hit a six. Okay, and we were just
Mm.
like getting, yeah. So that's why this match was quite very memorable for me. Yeah,
Mm.
you go
For me,
ahead.
I think for
Yeah,
me, I think
I also
captaincy.
want to know that for memories which you have seen live, and then obviously overall. Yeah,
Mm. I
live
have not.
memories are something which you generally don't forget, no matter what. Yeah.
No, I have not seen him live. I have not gone there and watched a cricket match, test cricket
Even
match.
in IPL, you didn't see him live.
No, no, no. I did not. I have not never got a time to go there and see the lab. Actually, I think that I will enjoy cricket better in the sitting at home because I'll get that entire view. That's my logic. But yeah, I mean, I would like to experience that feeling as well, maybe in the IPL someday. But yeah, my memory again as a captain, and I'll just talk about Test cricket. He has numerous good innings in T20 and ODI, but Test cricket again it echoes the same. He had, I mean, many good moments, but two particular moments. One would be that pep talk that he did against England. The last wicket was taken by Mohammad Siraj of James Anderson, bowled right, and then that entire celebration. And before that, I think they bowled England in under 60 overs. I
Yes.
think England scored maybe 120 or 130 is what they scored. I remember. So that pep talk, and apart from that, if you remember that series with Australia, I think it was the 2017-18 or was it 18-19? I think it was 17-18, the first time when India won 2-1. So that Ishan Sharma and then Jasprit Bumrah, they were bowling, and the kind of body blows they were giving to the Australian team, right? Travis
Yes.
Head, I think, also was hit in that match. And then those expressions, the way he was leading, the way he was commanding that team, right? A true sign of a leader. I mean, it was like a king was roaring in the field. That was, I mean, absolutely wow moment. I mean, if I would have ever played professional cricket, if I would have ever got a chance to represent the country at any level, right? I would have dreamt for that particular situation, roaring like that in the field, right? So that was the hallmark, and that was actually um, his way of playing this entire 10, 12, 11, 12 years, whatever he gave to the test cricket, right? So that was as a captain. As a player, again, he had innumerous centuries, double centuries, great innings throughout his career. But my best moment of Virat Kohli would be that first series where he captained and when he scored those 400s. And if you remember, right, he did this. My bat
Yeah.
will do the talking.
Yes.
That is when Virat Kohli announced himself as the player and the captain of this team. So absolutely legendary player. Wish him a lot of luck, and I hope he does well in the next 2 3 years, 2 years or 2.5 years, whatever he has to offer in ODI cricket. He just enjoys himself. Maybe gives one last burst, and hopefully we lift the 2027 ODI World Cup and as well. And after that, maybe the player that we know him now, even Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, both of them, I think they don't unnecessarily drag their career. I mean, they have certain goals in mind that okay, this is what I need to do. If I'm able to do, I'll do. If I do not, I'm not able to do, I'll just give myself one more chance, and after that I'll just quit the game. That's what they did. 2023 World Cup, we all talked about they should retire, they should retire, they should at least retire from T20 cricket. They gave themselves one more chance, they won the World Cup, they retired. Test cricket at the age of 36, I have not seen a player of Virat Kohli's stature retiring by himself at the age of 36 in Indian cricket.
with
Outside we see
that
uh
much level of fitness still in
with
him.
that much level of intent. I think even Saurav Ganguly did not wanted to retire, though he was in a great form during that time. But he was forced to retire. We all know that, right? Apart from that, VVS Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, everyone, I think they did not retire on their terms. At the end, I mean, I think every one of them, though the legends they are,
Happens
but
like the end
uh,
of career, it becomes clumsy. It's the
it
part and
becomes.
parcel.
So it was not the case with Rahul Dravid. I think he still had a good
People
series.
start the
Uh,
story from Kapil Dev to
yes, correct.
uh, Anil Kumble, and I mean Anil Kumble and Saurav Ganguly were the two people who, I mean, obviously they didn't want to retire, but they at least got a good farewell. Sachin
Hmm.
Tendulkar got a great farewell. I think man of his caliber should.
Sachin
And I,
Tendulkar got a great farewell, but Sachin Tendulkar dragged his career at least 1 year, right?
yes,
So
yes, but he
yeah,
still got
that's
the
okay, but
farewell.
that's fine. That is okay.
He still got the farewell. I think Virat and Rohit do deserve the farewell, which they believe they will do by picking up that much coveted one day World
Absolutely.
Cup.
So I think that that will be the last for both of them.
People nowadays don't understand the value of that one day World Cup.
Hmm.
This is something. It's a generational thing.
Hmm.
As I discussed last day, right? When a young child went to get autograph of Rohit Sharma with Sachin Tendulkar and Sunil Gavaskar sitting beside him. He took the autograph and went away. So this is a generational thing, but people like Kohli and Rohit understand the value and the weightage of the one day World Cup, and I think they are now
Right.
laser focused on that because that holds
Hmm.
much more emotional value to them. So they thought that to elongate their
Hmm.
international
ODI,
career.
which is logical. I think even Sachin gave. I mean, he started to play. I mean, selective games just to elongate his career. So that's, I think, a wise call from both of them.
Yes,
Uh, Hopefully,
but also
I think
yeah, but
Virat
also
will
the
retire on his
same
terms
reason they thought that the next WT cycle would be too long
afresh.
and it would not mean anything because they understand because that same mindset was there in the T20 World Cup when there was
Correct.
a huge roar about Rinku Singh being dropped for experience and little older cricketer, I would say. They had that back in the mind. So as you mentioned that because they were laser focused in getting that trophy and putting the last chances, I think that's the idea. So
Right.
they are trading off. They are basically now trading off with Gambhir as,
Mhm.
as as at the moment. I think
And
yesterday
that
I
is
read
a
something where it rightly said that right now Gambhir is the most powerful man in the Indian cricket after
right.
retiring from Rohit and Kohli.
And that is fine. I think they are leaving cricket on their terms. I mean, it's okay. No one would say that they are dragging their career, though they were in out of form
Is
for
it
some
so?
time.
I have a little bit of confusion. Is it so? Because 2 days before, uh, Rohit Sharma, I will come to Rohit Sharma's career now. But before that, we say Rohit Sharma told to Michael Clark in his podcast that he's looking forward, playing. Even if you remember his last interview when he dropped himself in the BGT, he still said that
Hmm.
he has that that fire in him to uh, play well, to contribute for India and all those stuff. So when you say like this, and then immediately retire. So there must be something going in the background. I That is why I believe pairs of calibers like Rohit and Virat should have got at least one farewell series, at least for Virat. At least for
I
Virat,
think
he should have got
I
one
think
farewell.
for Rohit Sharma it was clear. I think I also read the news here and there that he wanted to play the England series. Maybe he didn't wanted to play the England series. He wanted to give himself one or two test matches.
Yeah,
But I think there was a clear message from the BCCI and the team management that we we should not jeopardize the series. I mean, if you want to play, you play all the five test matches and then see whatever you can do. Otherwise, we are starting with a fresh cycle. Let's go with new faces. So that I
yeah.
think that was the
It
message
makes
for
sense.
Rohit Sharma.
It
Even I
makes
think
sense.
Virat Kohli also we were hearing the news
Yeah,
here and there that Virat Kohli, some coach is saying that he wanted to score 4 or 5 centuries in England. But I don't think those things are correct. I mean, maybe he would have told, but that was on a very lighter note. What he would have told. I think the expression that he had in that last dismissal in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, I think he must have said to himself that I am done with Test cricket. Eh,
yeah,
I should not hold up a place in Test cricket. I think let's give the youngsters a chance.
yes,
Having said that, let's move to the other part of the ROCO. That is, here we talked about the co because obviously co is once in a generation player in Test cricket. Rohit Sharma, being a legend in ODI cricket, being a good player in Test cricket, had mixed fortunes. Again, his career needed a push the way it needed in ODI cricket. He started off at 5 and 6, started off very well, scored those two daddy hundreds in the last series of the great Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, and then suddenly his entire Test cricket career went out for a toss. He was no longer able to establish himself at 5 or 6, not getting enough scores, not getting enough runs. And then again, just when we thought, just like in the ODIs also, we thought that maybe Rohit Sharma is too much a hype player and he's not going to be that great, whatever it was, right? Whatever we thought of. And just when we were thinking that this might be the same story in Test cricket, suddenly again Kohli, I need to give him credit. He brought him back opening, and then that gave some shape to Rohit Sharma. I mean, ending up with 12 centuries, around 40 average, decent 4,000 runs, around 67 Test matches. This is what we never thought that Rohit Sharma, with the kind of form that he was in between and the place that he was, I think we all thought that maybe he will end up with stats like what Yuvraj Singh had, but somewhere better stats. Again, not a very great player for me in Test cricket, but nonetheless, I think he was a very instrumental and a very key player in that setup that Virat Kohli built. So, Rigja, your thoughts on
yes.
Rohit Sharma?
As you likely took the example of Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh is someone who is not known for how many number of runs he scored in Test match cricket or how many number. He is an impact player. I mean, the only difference between Rohit and Yuvraj is Yuvraj never became the Indian captain. Rohit was lucky to become. I mean, I would not say lucky. He deservedly was the deservedly made Indian captain, but I mean, very few people get that opportunity. Rohit got that opportunity. He made most use of it, more on the one day side. He's a better player in one day cricket. He's a better leader in one day cricket. He has been phenomenal as the captain of Mumbai Indians, who had he had won so many trophies for them. So, but Test cricket, yes, Test cricket has been still where he still till the end he was still searching for his stamp in the game. Like when we talk about Kohli as a Test cricketer, we talk about his trademark captaincy. We talk about his aura in the field. We talk about his the in. I mean the way he built up the team. We talk about his philosophy. Uh, but in terms of Rohit Sharma, you'll always the way he was able to give leadership for Mumbai Indians, or the way he was able to give the leadership in one day cricket, we couldn't find that as a captain. And even as you mentioned, when he got the second, uh, you know, opportunity, second innings of his career, where he started as an opener, but still he's not a classical test opener. Is it like
Hmm.
when you talk about Justin Langer or when you talk about Matthew Hayden, when you talk about
Even Murli
uh,
Vijay. Even
Alistair
Murli
Cook,
Vijay.
Alistair Cook, or you talk about these are like test opener, or even Sunil Gavaskar I talk about. So these are test opener. Test opener is a very coveted spot in cricket, in Test cricket. It requires a very special skill set in Test cricket. No matter people say that Test cricket has changed, which I agree, it has becoming more result oriented compared to being drawn out. But I think his format of batting, like Kohli in Test match, Kohli in one day, Kohli in T20, have subtle differences. Rohit Sharma had that when he was young. Like he could score those daddy hundreds, he could score. But as he aged, he was his talent. We do not. His talent is immense, like his impeccable talent. But his batting was becoming one-dimensional. Even in Test match cricket, his batting was also becoming one-dimensional. He had made a conscious decision to change his batting, and that impact. I mean, he couldn't get away from that mindset in Test cricket too.
Hmm. Correct.
End of his career. Yeah. So this is where I believe is the difference between a legend, and a great player. And Rohit is a great player, no doubt. But Kohli is a legend, where you can literally, see that Kohli as a Test cricketer, Kohli as a one-day cricketer, Kohli as a T20 cricketer. You can spot those differences. You spot those mindset differences, spot those technical changes and all. So that's why I believe Rohit Sharma, as you rightly pointed out, even though he had immense contribution in one day and T20, but for Test cricket, his contribution will be. I mean, when people will think about Rohit Sharma, they will not directly think about his Test career first,
Correct.
but
Absolutely.
nonetheless, he has been one of the greats of the game. I mean, he's very fortunate enough to always get clubbed with Kohli, which is which Yuvraj never get got. I think Yuvraj should always get clubbed with Dhoni. It's always Dhoni and Yuvraj. They both won the 2007 World Cup. They both won the 2011 World Cup. I always say that. And it's even, I think Yuvraj was there in 2013 Champions Cup. I'm not sure.
No, no, he was not there. Suresh Raina was there.
Yeah, Suresh Raina was there. So Dhoni and Yuvraj is kind of like Rohit and Kohli, I would say.
Hmm.
Uh, so that even Saurabh and Sachin, I would say. Saurabh was
Saurav
also
Sachin Dravid.
Saurabh actually changed his batting approach at the end of his career when he was dropped and he came back. He was not the same, aggressive batsman he was when at the start of his career. Rahul Dravid was a pure test batsman who showed his capability at the end of his career in T20 and one day. I mean, in one day he was always there, but in T20 he could hit those shots and all. So similarly, we saw people evolving. Rohit Sharma did evolve, but in Test cricket, his evolution in other format did impact his Test career, and yeah, I think it was the right call. I think for Rohit
Hmm, yeah,
Sharma.
absolutely. I think it was the right call for Rohit Sharma. Not a very bad stats again. Not the greatest of the game, but again a very good player, and I think a player who decently contributed in that period where India dominated world cricket, right? And I think
Yeah,
along with Virat Kohli and the other people like Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, and even the bowlers Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Ishant Sharma, right? They laid the foundation of the strong Indian cricket team that we see. Um, ho- Hoping with that, I mean, we wish these two legends a great career. I mean, and
great post
we just
career,
hope,
post retirement career.
yeah, post-retirement career from Test cricket again. They are still alive, very much alive in the ODI setup, and just hopefully there should be one last dance in the ODI setup as well. On that note, just asking, we are now going to see fresh faces. Rickjoy, very quickly, who are going to be the next Rohit and Virat? Maybe, I mean, just for the
Very
sake of it, but who are going to be the two
first of all,
superstars?
yeah, first of all, you rightly mentioned Test cricket is evolving. It has become much more result oriented, which is good for the game. But in terms of personal record, we have we seldom see triple hundred. We almost don't see double hundreds in Test cricket anymore. We see more results. We see more fast-paced action. This will impact the overall personal records of many players in India and outside. As you rightly mentioned, there will be hardly player who would cross 7,800 runs in Test cricket. Test cricket itself, quality Test cricket happens only between India, and England, South Africa, and Australia. I think these
And
four
New
nations
Zealand. And New Zealand, maybe.
and New Zealand in five nations. Other than that, so your scope of watching quality Test cricket is quite narrow now. So as you rightly mentioned, so in this particular scenario, I had a lot of trust in Subman Gill. I think the whole Indian cricket fraternity also have trust in terms of pure talent. Like when Prithvi Shaw was actually handpicked as the next best thing, I think Harsha Bogle also mentioned that people also noticed Subman Gill, the way his talent was being displayed to the world. So Subman Gill has the capacity, and that's why I mentioned MRF has sponsored him because MRF also believe
Hmm.
this.
Yes.
Next guy, Shubman has to improve a lot. I think he lacks what you have mentioned. Kohli had made technical changes to stay relevant and to stay on top of his game. Shubman also needs the same things. Not only talent do not make you a great player. It's the talent, it's the application, it's the permeability, the malleability of the player, which makes himself a great player. So England is a condition where there will be massive swing. Okay, there will be massive banana swing kind of ball. Will Subman will be able to exist with this much gap between pair and bat? Okay. Uh, so this is the question. So can Subman do? I have the trust that he is the oldest of the Gen Z, I believe so. So people from the next generation will have much more as a leader will look up to him. So Subman might he can become the captain, which is very controversial for Test cricket. But I believe he is the next Kohli, not Rohit. Rohit, I would say and many people will become like Rohit because the records he has, I think many people, I think Jaiswal can do that. This guy, I'm not sure. I'm rooting for Sai Sudarshan to join the Indian. Nitish Reddy will be. Uh, you saw how he was exposed in the IPL, right? So, and we kind of got that glimpse at the end of the BGT too. I mean, he was
Yes.
playing great, but at the end of BGT, he was getting a little bit of exposed. So I don't know whether he will be something for long term, but Sai Sudarshan is something for long term. We are yet to see Abhimanyu Ishwaran in this foreign condition and all. So yeah, it's a great, exciting time. So many of our young guys can become a Rohit, but I think Shubman can become almost like 80 to 70 to 80% of Kohli.
Hmm. I agree with you. I mean, as I mentioned before as well, I don't see anyone crossing that 9,000 mark anymore. Shubman Gill will come close maybe, but again, he has to make a lot of adjustments. He just averages 35 in Test cricket, which is not, I think, what Kohli when he started. He was not that kind of player. He averaged more than 40. So maybe Shubman Gill. I have high hopes from Yashasvi Jaiswal as well. I don't think he will end up as with a Rohit record. I think he will do well. I think
Yeah,
he and Shubman
surprising.
huh,
He's like
he and Shubman Gill I think both will have at least 6,000 or 7,000 runs with an average of close to 45. 40 to 45 is what their average is going to be. I think, and again, you told what I was going to say actually. So Sai Sudarshan is something I just want. I am very excited to see him a part of this setup. So Sai Sudarshan, I hope the promise that he has shown, the patience that he has shown in the IPL, I hope he just translates it in Test cricket, and I think he'll be a great prospect. I think he has that caliber to play very long innings. I don't have much hopes from Nitish Reddy. I don't think he's going to be a player of the long run, but maybe he will be in and out like Shardul Thakur in the team.
Yeah.
mainly preferred in the away conditions. He will not be the next Hardik Pandya, at least that I clearly seen. But yes, Sai Sudarshan is someone I am looking at. Another key player that I am looking at, though he's quite been in the setup for a long time. But I think going forward now that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have retired, I think two very key players would be holding this team. One would be Shreyas Iyer and one would be KL Rahul. So I think Shreyas Iyer they will bring him back. I think Sarfaraz Khan and all these were just temporary setups. Even Dhruv Jurel also. I don't see them playing continuously for India or on a regular basis for India. I think India should make the wise BCCI should make the wise decision of bringing Shreyas Iyer again back in the mix. He's in the form of his life in all formats, right?
Yes.
And even in the IPL, he's also leading. I think he will do wonders in Test cricket as well. So maybe he will just give you, let's say, 50, 60 Test matches, and that's what we need. I think going forward, I don't see
Yes.
too many
Yeah.
people
Shreyas has
playing.
a great acumen in leadership. We have seen that. And Shreyas is also someone who make technical changes. If he believes that, I think if you remember, he was massively trolled for his inability to play the short ball. Right
Short
now,
ball, right?
now we do not discuss that because he has
Right.
able to mitigate that. And I think you
Absolutely.
have clearly seen that how he used to his stance change, how his shot making has changed. So these kind of players are true examples where not only talent will take you this far, but rather the adjustment, the application, the thought processes, the philosophy. Shreyas is one of those examples. I do believe that.
Absolutely. So let's see, and let's hope we have fresh faces in this WTC cycle, and let's hope that another Virat or Rohit, or Virat and Rohit, they turn out to be soon, and we again start seeing the game with the same hopes that we did. We initially thought that after Sachin there would be no one. Then we got Virat and Rohit. Maybe we'll get someone in the future, and again we'll never lose interest in Test cricket, and so will be with all the people watching this podcast and cricket, that they will never lose interest in this beautiful game of cricket. On that note, very happy retirement to both the legends of the game, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma from the Whites. And hopefully, we'll see a lot of you in the 50 over format. And hopefully, we'll also see you lift the World Cup once again for India.
Yes,
On
that's
that
the
note, I would like to thank Rick
ultimate
Joy.
goal. Yeah.
I would like to thank Rick Joy for his time to discuss this very important and very important juncture of Indian cricket, at where we just do the transitioning from one generation to the other. So thank you
Truly
guys,
an
and if you
yeah, truly an emotional one.
yeah, and thank you guys. If you like our content, do subscribe. If you have any feedbacks, if you want us to make any sort of episode or anything, just feel free and just let us know with your comments. Thank you, everyone. Good night, and we'll see you again.
Bye.
Thanks.